Hello. So it is gonna be just as a warning. This is gonna be a much more informal video. Not a lot of editing. A lot of I'm gonna be improvising a lot of this. Not that I have a script at all in other videos, but I don't know. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Mewgenics before it finally releases. It's 2 days left. It seems fucking unreal. We're hours away from it, and I still can't believe it. It truly, it will be felt the difference of us living in a world right now where we don't have Mewgenics, and after where we have for years and years to come. Um, but yeah, I want to talk about some specific stuff and speculate, theorize a bit, and just my last thoughts before the game releases and we go into a whole nother arc, because I'm gonna be playing the game and I'm hoping for a very long time. Not that it's gonna be all I'm gonna be playing, but who knows? At least I wanted to make this channel. Um, it was to focus on Mewgenics, of course. Initially, it was to practice my editing, and it still is that. I want to get better at doing that. But as Mewgenics came along, I felt like it was the perfect opportunity because I could make videos about something I'm passionate about. In this case, Mewgenics, because I know I'm gonna like editing the videos and everything that comes with it. And I love Mewgenics a lot. I can even haven't playing it yet, but you guys know how I feel, you know. Um, yeah. So there's gonna be some cuts because I'm gonna be thinking a lot because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about and speculate. There might be some spoilers because, as you know, if you've seen my content, I've been reacting to a lot of stuff. I love reactions. I love seeing React channels of all kinds. I have some of my favorites, but I really like watching reactions for every media that I like. I like watching reaction to games, to series, whatever, films, movies, whatever. So I really like reactions, and it just seemed fitting that this was the start before Mewgenics releases, of course, because I want to be making videos about Mewgenics, of course. So yeah, first things first. As I said, I'm gonna be thinking a lot. Okay. So for Mewgenics, what to start with? Damn. Yes. As you know, what I was getting at. There was a lot of things that I did, a lot of videos that I didn't react to, especially now at the end, because so many new gameplays are releasing. I wasn't expecting this. Like 4 channels or more have released their games, and I don't even think I'm watching for myself. I don't think I'm. It's too many, and at this point, I think I'm satisfied with Mewgenics content. I want to stop here, reacting at least, and seeing content about Mewgenics and just experience the rest. I know a lot of you guys and gals, who knows, feel that way as well. So yeah, this is pretty nice. Yeah, so I'm not gonna be reacting to all the other stuff if you have, and there's a lot of spoilery stuff on the reviews, on the new videos. They're just going crazy, and it's fine because it's just about to release. So if you want to watch it, go ahead. Otherwise, yeah, shame. Okay, whatever. It's not shame. It's a shame for me. I don't want to watch it. But if you want to know everything, because as Edmund said, knowing the stuff, I mean, it's a shame not having the complete blind experience, but the game is fun. you know, it's not the surprises and the reveals that make this game. It adds a lot of. It is cool. The surprises will be fun and cool as fuck. but it's not the main uh, the main the main course, as some would say. So, about um, Mewgenics, yeah. What do I expect about the game? I don't have questions prepared, but I have some topics that I want to talk about, and just talk about and just leave it recorded in the channel, just so it's fun. It's fun to see where it goes. One of the things that I'm thinking a lot is how big will Mewgenics be? And we could be talking about content, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about community. How much bigger, or how big will Mewgenics be compared to like Isaac's community and stuff like that? Because Isaac very is very famous, a very famous game, but it's still a little niche. Not everyone really plays Isaac. It's maybe not their kind of game. Some people like it, but it's not the game that they want to play a lot. And there's some people that it's their thing. There's people that could and are making content to this day about Isaac, you know? And I wonder, where will Mewgenics go? Will it be super niche? It is easier, maybe. It gets hard, but it's a lot easier because of the description of items, because of, I think, a much better, I think it's a little subjective, but it's a much better learning curve, you know? So it is more accessible than Isaac, I would believe. The strategy aspect, I don't know if the strategy aspect will make it better or worse compared to Isaac, you know? Isaac is a lot more volatile. A lot of people just, get a crazy build and blast to the end. I mean, I've done that. Not exactly the type of way I like to play, but I don't know. I'm just thinking about where will Mewgenics go, you know? I think it's gonna be crazy when it releases, but I'm talking like, a year from now. Who is still playing Mewgenics, you know? They have planned, yeah, they're planning, they haven't started working on it, on the DLCs. I'm not gonna be talking exactly about the DLCs right now, but it's pretty interesting. So, I mean, I think Mewgenics will do very well monetarily, and thank God, Edmund, and as Edmund said, especially Tyler, and the rest of the team, but especially Tyler, deserves it. The game is amazing. I think it will do well enough for them to be excited to make a DLC. I mean, they are excited as developers for the game, but financially, I think it will be good. It will be something that they want to do. I think it will happen. I would be very surprised if the game didn't do well enough for the DLCs to be warranted. So that's cool. And so I mean, people will come back for the DLCs to play the DLCs, but I wonder if, like, how many people will play the game to its completion, probably, and stop playing after that, and how many people will keep playing after that. I want to be someone that plays it for a long time. I want it to be like Isaac, that I'm comfortable booting it up and playing some Mewgenics, and it's still fun. It's not something that, after you've seen it, you kind of get the hang of it. I don't think this is the type of game Mewgenics is at all, but there is a chance. We never know. Let's put some Black Boozy. It's a nice song. I'm doing the playlist on the background. The classic playlist for Under the Sheets, So I think this will be very interesting. I believe it will be like Isaac. In a sense, it has the potential to be bigger than Isaac in a lot of ways. But it could be very niche as well. of course, I'm kind of on the fence about this. I'm not really sure, but I'm on the side of Mewgenics going a lot bigger. Because it seems like a masterpiece, but who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I think it's gonna be a little niche. I don't think everyone will be still playing Mewgenics after some a year or some. But I could be wrong, and I hopefully I'm wrong. I hope, but I know the community will be very healthy and very strong. And if we get mods, I don't know how good. It seems like you would have to mess a lot of files. I don't know if we'll have workshop mods for Mewgenics. If we have these, it's gonna get crazy. This could be a hell of a game. I hope so much that there's mods. There's gonna be workshop mods, just because it's very easy. Not that it will be, I believe, a lot harder if the mods are not workshop friendly, you know. But I could be wrong. I don't know a lot about this stuff, but it's a lot easier for the casual players to download it and maybe get interested in modding at all, you know. So yeah, that's the first thing. Like, for expectations of how crazy the community will get, I think it's gonna be insane. Yeah. Now, about replayability is something I would like to talk about also. Of course, the game is replayable, but one thing that I don't know what you, I don't know how it is going to be, because like in a run, you kind of have a meta progression that in a video I did, I have talked about this before, that normally in games I don't really like the meta progression of like you getting stronger outside of each run. I really like the aspect in Isaac of like when you start a run, that run is gonna be, you have to depend on luck and you have to work a lot with what you're given in the middle of the run, you know. I really like that aspect that differentiates the ability of each player of what they do with their run. And that's what makes the dailies in Isaac so different, because it like a little decision that you did made so your run was completely different from another person. In Isaac, I'm saying, of course. But in Mewgenics, I don't know how that would be, because you kind of have a meta progression of the house, you know. You will get a bigger house, you will be able to store more items, you'll be able to breed more easily some crazier cats. It's not like they are super busted. I think the because Edmund even said that there is a cap. There is a cap for the stats, and there's probably a cap, a floor and a ceiling for the stats that a cat is born with. I think the mutations will be the much bigger thing that you'll be playing with. So I don't think you're gonna get like in the late game, you're gonna get super OP cats that you can blast for run. It's still gonna be difficult. But the mutations, as it gets easier for you to choose some mutations in your lineage and make it easier to pass down some cool and good abilities, it will be a little easier, a little. But I think the game will get a little harder as well to compensate. And there is the 3 acts, which is pretty insane. I don't know if this is a spoiler for some people. Maybe there is. I'm gonna be talking a little bit about it. I'll warn you if I get a little too crazy. But yeah, there is 3 acts. And I mean, there is 3 act ones. It's a little bit harder to explain, because they call it in an act is divided in 3 acts. You know. So, but you know, they get progressively harder, as Edmund and Tyler have stated. So But I mean, I don't want the alley to be easy, you know, to be like a cakewalk in the late game. So you like you're not. It's not a lot of fun to run it again. I don't think this is the case. I think there's speculation that the alley gets a variant, a harder variant. But I'm not talking about just the alley. I'm talking about the alley path in general. Like, you know, I don't want to be pushed to go into the lab or the desert just because they prove to be a lot more challenging. I want all the paths to be challenging in a way. Of course, they can be a little more challenging. They will be because like the desert, you have to care a lot about the weather instantly, and the labs, I believe it's just going to be a lot harder. There's probably going to be some type of gimmick mechanic that we'll have to adapt to as well for going to that act tree. So that is kind of cool. But yeah, I really hope that the game is fun for a long time, and even if after I completed my save and like after you know that I want to keep playing on this save. I think it will be fun to start another save just because I think the run will be drastically different. And Tyler has already confirmed in one of the streams that um, there are some achievements that you are unable to get in a single save file. Like I don't know exactly how it will work. They didn't say exactly, but there's probably gonna be like a choice or something like that. That when you choose a path, you get an achievement, but the other path gave you another achievement, and you're locked out of that one because you chose the first one. So if you want all the achievements, you're gonna have to start a save file. So I'm probably gonna be doing multiple save files for the completion of all the achievements, and because I think it's fun. Because the start of your save file and the history that you build will be completely different because you get different cats, different items, different lineages, and you make different choices. Hopefully, I think that's the purpose of it. So I think this will be fun. But I kind of derailed a bit of what I was talking about. I'm gonna be doing this a lot. As I said, I'm just doing this. Um, yeah, I want to keep playing. I really hope that my save file, after I've completed everything, is not boring. In an overpowered way, or um, or because like I have a type of lineage that I'm following, and that I don't know, it gets too easy to replicate some kind of build. You know, I I'm hoping that this is not the case, but there could be a world. There could be a world where after like you complete your save file completely, it gets a little maybe I hope hopefully that's not it. I'm just make sure that this is come true, but I really hope that it doesn't get too easy or too boring after you completed it all, because in Isaac, comparing because it's one of my favorite games, it's the game that I have most hours on. Um, I loved unlocking everything in Isaac because every achievement is locked, has an item or something that you unlock that you can find in your runs, and that's why it was one of the first games I ever did all the achievements for, because I just wanted to play some runs where I had everything, where everything, not that I had everything, but where everything could appear in the game. I wanted to be able to do that, and I play in my Dead God where I unlocked everything until today because I love that save file. It still would be cool to start a new one, and I did that sometimes. But I love playing my Dead God save file because it's just fun because I have everything unlocked, and it's when I start a run, it's gonna be fun. Just it's just gonna be fun, and I hope Mewgenics is the same. Hopefully that was you could comprehend what I'm saying here. uh, Hopefully it was fine to understand. Um, as I said, uh, I mean, how many classes will we have? I think this is pretty interesting. In the trailer, the last trailer we saw, it said 12 plus classes, and that's the one thing that we aren't super sure. We have still some things, but I think that we have seen them all technically, but I'm not sure because we have the fighter, mage, hunter, tank, fifth cleric. This is gonna be spoiler. If you don't want to hear this, skip ahead. I don't know. I mean, do I want to say now? I mean, this is gonna be spoilers. Maybe a little bit. I don't know it all, but you know, we've seen the necromancer, the druid, which is probably gonna be my favorite class. It seems fucking sick. We have the mechanic, we have the monk type class. That's 10. We have the butcher. Am I forgetting someone super important? There's the jester. That's 12. 12 plus. There's more. Maybe there's more. Am I forgetting someone? There was talk about the psychic. It could be a class. Let me just check. I'm checking the thing to see if I forgot someone that was obvious. Necromancer, butcher, psychic, the mechanic. I said the mechanic, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have seen a psychic color somewhere, maybe in a TikTok. And there's the colorless. You have to count the colorless, you know, probably. I think colorless is cool. It's a cool challenge. One thing that it would be really cool is if there were some colorless abilities that only full colorless cats could get. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool, a cool one, you know. I really want. Now, this is what I want to have in the game. Because there's, and I'm very confident that there will be a lot of stuff like this that I want, because from what I've seen from the gameplay previews, there's so many cool items that do a lot of different stuff, out of the box stuff, you know, not classic, boring, you say, you know. There's so many types of interactions and fun things to do, and it's one of the things I'm most excited about playing the game. But like, as Edmund said, that I don't know if it was a joke, but like special abilities or things that you could get in an event that's like you could only get in this event. You know, something that your cat did that gave you this special ability that you could not get otherwise. It's not offered in level ups, etc., whatever, or maybe a mutation that gave you instead of stats or something like that, it gave you an ability, a new ability that you can only get with this mutation. You know, there's so many cool mutations, There's the most basic ones that changes your stats. There's one for the combination of each of the stats. But there's a lot of cool ones that do a lot of different things, like give you dodge, that make you fly away, that make your basic attack different. There's so many cool stuff to do. There's so many. And I think this is going to be one of the most fun things about watching different people play. Hopefully it will be fun to watch people play, because I will be playing, and I hopefully some people will like to watch it. But I will be playing and recording it regardless. But it would be fun to have people to talk about what's happening. But because the run of every single Let's Player will be a whole lot different. Their choices, their cats, the lineage that they want to follow. I'm not even talking about legacy events, because there's those too. There's like choices that you make in the game, in your save file, that changes your save file forever. I'm gonna, like, for example, you find a whatever that changes, I don't know, your alleyway, maybe, or maybe a new enemy appears. I don't know what could happen. I'm just guessing. But Edmund confirmed that there were legacy events that changed, that something changed in your save file, and that's probably what the thing about the achievements. There probably are some legacy events, um, or things that happen that lock you out of different events and stuff like that. That would incentivize you to do another save file, you know. But yeah, I'm very excited about that. I'm super excited. Playing with all the classes. I'm. They talked a little bit about challenges. I hope that is true. We haven't seen anything. I love the challenges in Isaac, and even to this day, I kind of make up some challenges. There are some sites or plugins that make some challenges for you, and I just think it's just a fun way to play. Because I mean, I like getting strong and making some strong stuff, but I just really like fun runs in general. I don't have to be breaking the run to have fun, you know. And actually, I'm having the most fun I could have when I'm playing middle of the pack run or low tier run, where I have to, with my skill and what I know, try and get out of the mud, you know. I think those are the most fun ones. So that's what I'm gonna go for. What I was talking about? I fucking forgot. I'm derailing so much. I'm sorry. Challenges. I was talking about challenges. I spent like, this is probably good, but I spent like some good minutes thinking about what I was talking about. So I like the challenges in Isaac. I think it's just a fun way to explore the game, and hopefully there are some challenges in Mewgenics. They kind of alluded in a live stream that there were some kind of challenges, but maybe we haven't seen in any of the gameplay previews where they could be. But I'm gonna guess it's one of the NPCs, and it's probably Dr. Beanie's. I'm gonna guess. He's probably gonna give you the thing that most seem like challenges in the game, because all of the other NPCs want kittens, of course. And they like and all of them want some different type of kittens, but we haven't seen what Dr. Beanies wants. And maybe he wants more specific stuff. Maybe he's the NPC that wants you to accomplish things in the game, more specific things, so you can kind of further the plot, you know? Like, maybe he's the one that's going to be talking to you, and this is more speculation now, to have you like, I need you to defeat the boneyard in the caves, whatever times. I need you to have cats with this type of mutation or something like that. Or maybe like bring me some kind of item or something like that. Like I'm very interested on what Dr. Bean is gonna do. He could be just a lore character, like he could be maybe he doesn't have a quest, but this is very difficult. Even the dead guy has a quest. So Dr. Bean probably has a quest, has his own quests, you know. But I think it's very fun that we haven't seen anything about Dr. Bean so far. Basically anything, yeah. Because I think Dr. Bean is the crux of, now we're going to be a little bit to lore, maybe. Dr. Bean is probably the epicenter of Mewgenics lore, you know. Yourself and Dr. Beanies. There's some really crazy stuff, man. Maybe he's mutating and researching cats for a reason, you know. Maybe cats are somehow gonna save humanity, because it is an apocalyptic world, and or maybe he destroyed humanity. I don't know. Although there is aliens, so I don't know. Humanity seems pretty fucked in a lot of fronts, you know. But I don't know. Maybe Dr. Beanie's helped destroy the world, or maybe he start trying to fight the destruction of the world. A lot of fucked up things are happening. Maybe it is a nuclear apocalypse, and Dr. Beanie's is just one of the crazy guys that live in this apocalyptic world. It is Isaac's world. I mean, there's a lot of references, but it was kind of Edmund always wanted this to like be in world because it made sense, And this, of course, is after Isaac. I think a pretty good long time, if I had to guess. There's a lot of jokes about people being dead, like Edmund and Tyler being dead in the intro. It's a funny gag. It's 80% a funny gag, and 20% it's because it's apocalyptic. It's an apocalyptic world, and most of the people that lived in the past died. I mean, yeah, there's mutations, so maybe it is a radiation angle. You can get mutations by a lot of different things. It's not really said, although we have the bunker. But I'm just speculating on what is the apocalypse and the mutations only for radiation, or are the mutations coming from a lot of things? Like this is the research. Maybe the aliens have helped with mutating the life forms, especially cats in the world. But yeah, it's gonna be a pretty fucking funny and interesting lore in Mewgenics. Why are there so many cats? Is that a reason? Is there a reason for that? Is it because cats are intelligent and independent and they somehow survived like cockroaches? Or was it because Dr. Beanies was experimenting on them and now, I don't know, they developed some kind of resistance to the apocalypse? There are other animals, although most of them are mutated, and it's pretty crazy how a lot of the animals are mutated that we see are part cat. Like we see bloated cats in the sewers, we see shark cats. There's so many fucked up cats. There's some dogs. There are normal bears. There's some bears that are chilling, not mutated, just normal bears. They seem normal at least. There are turtles. There's squirtles. There's squirrels. There are some normal guys. There's some normal life forms, but there's a lot of fucked up ones too, like rats. There's normal rats and there's some pretty fucked rats. So I don't know. It's a little bit weird. It's like not everything is crazy, but a lot of stuff is pretty fucked up. It's pretty mutated. So I'm really interested in seeing if Dr. Bean is a good guy, if he's a bad guy, if we're cooperating with him, or if he then becomes a enemy. Maybe if he's the villain, maybe we start believing him, and then he becomes a boss. Maybe that could be super cool. Imagine if he's one of the last bosses. That'll be fucking crazy. In a mecha, or maybe he mutates himself and he becomes like a giant cat. I don't know. I'm spitballing, but there's a lot of stuff we don't know, man, and there's a lot of crazy enemies, a lot of fucking weird things. And there's aliens. I don't know where to put the aliens. I mean, it seems like they came from the moon. The moon is the place we can go. So it's pretty fun. I don't know if the aliens are just funny guys or if they are very important to the plot. They're probably somewhat important. I'm guessing on the world got fucked up by a lot of different angles kind of thing. And the cats kind of survived because they're badass. Or maybe just because they're fucked up in their own way, like cockroaches. So yeah, there's some more lore stuff. A lot of cloning. I mean, there's a lot of experimentation on cats. All of the NPCs want cats, and there might be a reason for that. their own reasons. It could be just because they're cats are like a good symbol in this world because they survived, maybe, or because they just love cats. I don't know. Maybe it's a different culture. I don't know Boone County. Where is Boone County? Um, but there's a lot of clones things, and although Dr. Bean is his reputation, I think, is to experiment with cats. I believe there's a lot of experience, not necessarily from Dr. Beanies, but there's a lot of experience on humans as well. There's the guy that has your name for some reason. I don't know if he's a clone of you. We never see ourselves, and I don't think we will, but maybe we are a clone of someone. Butch and Tink, they're so similar, and we have seen in one of the Edmund's preview runs, we have seen the corpse of Butch in the caves. Frank has said that he has died in the caves, and he built another Frank. But they all seem a little crazy, so you could just boil it down to, oh, they're crazy. They're just crazy. They're talking crazy stuff. You see how they always hang on their words, and they're kind of, you can't believe them. But it's probably gonna be there that there's a level deeper. Maybe even the NPCs themselves don't know this, but like Tink and Butch, maybe they're just twins. I don't know if they ever will acknowledge that, but if not, maybe they are clones of one another, and it's kind of like the good and bad side, whatever the fuck. Um, Frank has talked about the existence of multiple Franks. Um, as I said, we saw the dead body of Butch, but how can it be? Because Butch is alive. Maybe he had a clone or had a very identical twin brother. Um, I mean, it's a little funny. It's a little fucked up, and I wonder how all of these other NPCs will get roped into the story. Will they be more secondary characters, like just talking about stuff that's happening, and Dr. Bean is like more at the center that you're interacting with, or if maybe the characters play a bigger part? I don't know how, but I mean, it's fun to speculate. This is gonna be like the most, as Edmund has said, the game that he has written a lot more for the lore of this specific game. I don't think it's not gonna be something huge. I believe at least the core of the game is still the gameplay, the strategy, the breeding. It's just that it has a cool lore that you explore with it. You know, it's not more it's not so secondary like in Isaac, where it's just like some cutscenes. There is a cool lore, but it's just bits and pieces that you put together, and it's more for the fun um, and exploring the character of Isaac. But this is more like exploring the world and the characters. It's a little more heavier than Isaac, but not so much. It's not a. This isn't gonna be what you're playing for, you know. Probably. I mean, I could be surprised. Oh, we don't know. But yeah, we talked about. I mean, I talked in the comments a little bit. Well, like what class? I wonder what class you're, and if you want to comment here, what are you most excited about Mewgenics in general, and which class you think you're gonna like the most? Um, as I said in the comments, I think mine is probably gonna be Druid. In a close second, it's probably Necromancer or Mechanic. I think the druids it just seems so fun. He just seems to have a lot of cool abilities and a very different basic attack of like buffing and healing. He's kind of like a support character, but he has a lot of transformations that you can go to build different archetypes, and you can switch because it's a transformation. You can switch in the middle of the combat, just in switch modes to your preference. I think the druid is gonna be fucking fun as hell, man. So fun. I love the necromancer, and of course the necromancer and the druid, and I think the hunter they're like the three. Edmund said about this. They're the three big summon classes. So I always love necromancy in games and stories. I love having your army of skeletons, and I also like the aspect of the archetype of the necromancer of spreading disease and life stealing and leeches and plague. I think that's just cool as a concept. I just like the vibes of the necromancer, you know. And as a buzz, it has a sick summoning build, and I think it's really cool the interaction with corpses. I think that's gonna be super fun to explore. Also, um, the mechanic is one of the classes that I know the least of. We've seen some abilities. They have like access to mechas, to weapons, to a lot of different gadgets. I'm gonna guess that he can build. I have no idea how it will work. Maybe you can. Maybe, maybe you build. I'm guessing here because it's the mechanic like tinker type class. Maybe you can build an active ability, or maybe your basic attack. Like you know how some of the abilities and passives of the mage, um, like after you use a electric ability, your basic attack will not have electric type in them for the rest of the combat. I think maybe the mechanic has something like that in the sense that like he adds status and mechanics to his basic attack. Like he keeps tinkering with his abilities and things like changing himself. Um, I think that would be a really cool one, and maybe that's probably it. I think it's really very possible for the mechanic to play like that. So that's pretty sick. This is the last chance I'm gonna have to speculate on this thing, so I'm just going all out. Um, it's really fucking cool. I hope the mechanic has some kind of summon. It's not gonna be one of his main archetypes, but like making turrets or things. Maybe the mechanic has some kind of trap archetype, just like the hunter. It's gonna be different traps, but I think it could be fucking cool as fuck. Damn, that would be so awesome. Mechanic is is very likely gonna be one of my favorite classes also, and the others are super fun also. I, Now that's a good question. What is my least favorite class that we know of right now? Mm, mm. Damn. I'm not gonna count classes we haven't seen at all because like the butcher I haven't seen enough. I've seen some stuff, but it's like he wouldn't end up on the bottom because I don't know enough about it. From the ones that I feel confident that we know of, I think my least favorite, and I like all the classes, okay? I like all the classes, but I think one of my least favorite classes is going to be the thief. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's not that I hate the thief. I think it's cool. He has a lot of archetypes, but I don't know. His teams are not the ones that interest me the most. You know, backstabbing. It is cool. Just having critical builds is not the most fun thing for me. Maybe I'll be surprised and just have a lot of fun playing with. Um, it will be fun. It will be fun. I'm just saying compared to all of the others, you know, and their themes and the vibes that you feel when you play with them, you know. I like there's the coin, the greed archetype for the thief. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the other classes a lot more conceptually and the archetypes that they have, you know. But there are a lot of cool stuff for the thief, like the shadows, uh, uh, stealing things like stealing the kidney, stealing items, stealing coins. Tyler and Edmund did a really great job making all of the classes seem cool and seem like even if you don't like a certain archetype, there's gonna be a facet of the class that interests you somehow. You know, there's a lot of ways to play, and maybe mutations or multiclassing makes you like a class more. You know, like maybe you get and that's the magic of Mewgenics. Maybe you get like a cool ability, like a summon ability, and maybe you run a maybe I run a thief with that summon ability, and that makes it so much fun because I'm a super fast summoner, whatever. I'm just saying things, but just like that, the multi-classing possibility can make a class that you don't have a lot of fun with be completely different, and maybe you start to like it playing it that way. That's so it's insane. And there's a jester with his whole thing. It seems to be only multi-classing. He adds abilities from all the classes, so it's much harder to make coherent builds because he's going to be getting from all of the archetypes. But he has a lot of potential because multi-classing breaks a lot of rules of what it is possible for a class to do, and he just in his nature he breaks that. So it is a lot more difficult, but the potential is a lot bigger with the jester. So I don't know. I wouldn't even be surprised if the jester started with a reroll, a free reroll, to make it easier for you to find stuff. Could be a little could be crazy. And the Jester Cap, one of the items, he gives you a reroll, multiple rerolls. So maybe the Jester has some mechanic for you to reroll abilities and something. I think the Jester is gonna like the Metronome colorless ability. I think the Jester is gonna have a lot of stuff like that, like an ability that and that's one more thing. I hope the Jester has some unique abilities just for the Jester. Just like, for example, an ability that every time you use it, it becomes another ability from another class. Every time. I think that would be super fun. What else do I hope for? I fucking love the chapters. For the classes, do I want something else for the classes? I have no clue what the monk and if the psychic really exists. I have very little clue about what they could do. I have speculated some. Maybe the monk has some type of modes also, but in a different kind of the druid. Maybe it's something more natural for him to be switching all the time because it's in yang. The psychic, maybe the psychic is a kind of mage that has more like CC abilities, like throwing. Because I don't know, the first thing when you think of a psychic, you think of Dr. Xavier, from X-Men, and you think like him moving things with his mind. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe he's more of it seems like he's gonna be some kind of mage, but he's gonna be a different kind of mage. He can't steal the shine from the mage, and the mage can't steal the shine from the psychic. So they have to be a lot different somehow. So I'm very excited. Maybe he just introduces a new mechanic that you have to think about, like a certain kind of debuff that you inflict on enemies that's special for the psychic. I don't know, something like that. That could be a way to differentiate the classes. We're getting this is taking a long time. This is more like a podcast at this point. I'm sorry. I'm gonna timestamp everything so it's easier for people to see. I'm gonna be bringing some things to talk about. Let's see. I'm gonna be pushing it on the screen for you all to see. This is one of them. I'm gonna be pulling some things that Ed tweeted. That's pretty interesting. One of the questions: why does Pooter look so different? And yeah, it's true. This is the Pooter, and from Isaac, and this is the Pooter from Mewgenics. So why? And Edmund said, because one is from a dying child's imagination and the other is real. That is fucked. That is so interesting. And damn, the Pooter from the real world from Mewgenics is much uglier. And damn, that's so interesting. So Pooters, thinking about lore now, because this is a lore question. Pooters existed with Isaac. Isaac was alive when Pooters existed, and they still exist, of course. But he had to have seen them to make it in his imagination. But Pooters are a pretty weird species. They are kind of fly. So, are they a mutated fly? Or are they just a natural fly in this world of Mewgenics and Isaac, you know? It could be just a species that exists, and it's fine. But for us that know the real world, it seems like it's a mutated fly, you know? So maybe there was some fucked up things happening while Isaac was alive, and maybe the end of the world that we are living now in Mewgenics is not far away at all from the Isaac reality, you know, the timeline wise. So this is pretty interesting. So the enemies that we see in Isaac that appear in Mewgenics, we have some others like the host. The host is kind of similar. He's still a skull, but he seems like kind of like a sack. He doesn't seem like he has organs, just showing, you know. Who else? There's Dips. Is there another enemy in Mewgenics that we have seen? The bloaters, maybe? We kind of get the bloaters in a way. Damn, my ears hurt with this. I just think this is super interesting. It kind of puts into question the timeline a little bit, but it's just really fun to see the enemies reimagined. You know, it's so fun for this retcanon, a retcon, not retcanon, I don't know, whatever. And I don't know if Ed kind of like had this all planned, that like Isaac was imagining these beings differently in the game, or if he retconned to like, what if this was just Isaac's perception in Mewgenics that passes later on, and the enemies are real things that exist, but they are very different from what Isaac really thinks about them, you know. So I don't know. It's a very interesting thing, and I have some more that I want to go here. This was just the first one. Here's another one that's pretty relevant, maybe, and one that I was questioning in the first gameplay previews. And it's a little bit confusing because Edmund has said a different thing in a live stream, I believe. If you upgrade your skill to level 2+, will the child retain regular vision of it or upped? Same ability but better? In one of the streams they said that you don't pass down the upgraded ability. But hear him saying that it's better is a little crazy. I would be fine if you even if you have the upgraded ability, you just pass down the normal ability, because it's your son, you know. He didn't have the expertise to have it upgraded, you know, because your cat used it in the adventure. But if you have the upgraded ability and it passes down that ability, and it's not the upgraded version, but a better version of the regular one, I don't know. Maybe they changed this. I don't know. But it would be pretty fucking cool. Could be very strong. I don't know. Maybe like it reduces the mana cost by 1. Maybe something like that. Just something interesting to think about. I don't have much more to say about this. Challenges. Will there be challenges? As I said, like Isaac had. If that's how they work, yes, you see. So just confirming what I said. There will be challenges, which is pretty fun. I love challenges. It just adds a lot of objectives for you, besides beating the game, like beating all the chapters, whatever. So I wonder what the challenges will unlock. Maybe you have to do challenges to unlock the other chapters and the endings, whatever the fuck. But maybe they unlock new items, abilities, or events to appear in your world. I think that would be really cool. if there were optional challenges for you to do to unlock more stuff. I love doing that in Isaac, and I hope Mewgenics has this in some way. It already has, but I just like it very much. Endings. Oops, this is a little too big. Let's make this a little smaller. Love your work and am rapidly awaiting Mewgenics. How many endings will Mewgenics have? How many are secret and how many are super duper secret? It has one ending. It's not really like Isaac where you replay an area and get an ending. Okay? The game does have a story that has an ending you see when you get there. Okay. I think this is cool. It has an ending, which let me get under here. But it's pretty interesting. I think it makes total sense because if you had an ending for each chapter, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to design it around like that. But what gives you the ending? Is it a chapter or is it a challenge? Like for example, we know the caves doesn't have an ending, you know? But like, will it be like a chapter 3 makes you reach that ending when you get there? But there's 2 paths in chapter 3 where you go to the lab and whatever the fuck. So if it only has one ending, it wouldn't make sense because you divide in 2 paths unless you get the same ending in both paths. So maybe I'm thinking that the ending when you get the ending is more like an achievement. Like you do a certain thing in the game, like you beat all the chapters, whatever, and you do certain things, and then you like go to Dr. Beanie's and there's like a last cutscene where like the world ends or something like that, whatever. But like the ending not being the main focus of what I'm trying to say is like the ending probably not being tied to completing a run. Maybe it is tied to completing a challenge of some kind and interacting with an NPC. Or maybe your house, maybe something happens in your house. That'll be crazy. So just interesting to think about. When you start to think about it, when you think about the stuff, because it's natural. Because of in Isaac, you get the ending when you finish the run. You kind of assume it's gonna be the same with this. This is a pretty fun one, and Edmund has confirmed this in the streams, but it's just fun to see. Do any of the bosses or enemies have alternate clear conditions, like Bambino or Baby Plum in Isaac? Yes, sir. And we've seen the easiest one is Queen Hippo. It's basically built in her and almost incentivized, depending on your party, because you can kill her, although it's very hard, because she has a lot of brace. But if you can turtle up and survive for 4 turns, she dies of a heart attack, and that's an alternate win condition. And as I said, it's kind of incentivized. If you have a party that's not strong against her, it's recommended for you to just run away. So it's very fun that other bosses will have different conditions to beating them, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to think about. You can think a lot about some of them. Maybe if there's like a nice boss of some kind. If you have some kind of fire spell, maybe you just defeat them instantly. Maybe that would be too crazy, but stuff like that. Maybe interacting with something in the scenario will do something else. So I just love it. As a strategy game, it's just so fun to have alternate building conditions. In Isaac, it was already cool. Having it in Mewgenics also is awesome. Awesome. Achievements. No, this is the number of. There's 280 achievements. That's insane, bro. That's so insane. Classes. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. How many updates do you plan for the game? Do you think the game will be in continuous growth like Isaac did, or better, maybe? So it's a little crazy be thinking about DLCs, but it's fun to theorize. But we'll have a lot of time to theorize and while we play, right? At least 2 DLCs, at least. So it's crazy. Why 2? Why not 1? You know, maybe there's a big reason. He said I could see myself working on it for 5 years, honestly. Yeah, if the game does well, and I think we'll have a lot more content. Um, but that's pretty interesting. Why not 1 DLC? Maybe maybe the the themes for the both of the DLCs are a lot different, or maybe the DLCs just, or maybe they have so much stuff in each DLC that they want to add that it will be very crazy to just like release a whole new game in 1 DLC, and they prefer to like um, sell it separately. So there's good content in 2 DLCs, and you can sell it a little cheaper and make the content updates with the DLC, in this case paid, be more spread out. So you kind of surf the hype of the game, and not a lot of things are introduced just in one go, you know. So it's interesting to think about why they are set on at least 2. It's a very specific number, you know. So it's pretty fun. I wonder what they will add. And one of the things that was confirmed, at least by Edmund, and that I was very surprised about, because there are already a lot of classes in the game. But here it is. Been a big fan of your games for years, and Mewgenics might be my most anticipated game of all time. I'm here with you. I also feel that way. You said a while back you would consider DLC. Will new classes be added similar to DLC characters in Isaac? 100%. The only thing that we know for sure will be features in the first DLC are around 4 new classes, brother. that's, that's crazy. That's insane. Man, 4 new classes? There's so many classes. I'm like, what other classes could you add? I mean, there are other archetypes of things, but you know, making that many abilities and unlocks and things for 4 more, and there might be more. It's just 4 more. They're like, these ones have to be in. Insane. Do you have a theory of what the other classes could be? I'm very interested to think about that. Maybe a cat, maybe a color that's like a mutation cat, something like that. A cat that really likes having mutations or incentivizes you to mutate him somehow. I don't know. It could be some. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be some crazy classes. Like they're gonna be complex. I hope there are some simple classes also added. That'll be cool. Like not all of them have to be super complex. Uh, like the druid or something like that. Should be fun, you know. I hope there are some. They have ideas for some simple classes. That could be cool to explore, you know. So it's insane, bro. 4 classes. That's pretty crazy. There's one more thing that they said they wanted to add, but yeah, they probably will be in DLCs. They have this some afflictions and some conditions, passives. They couldn't add them all, and the ones that they left out, they said they probably are gonna add in the upcoming DLCs, which is pretty fun. It's pretty fun. What do I want added? I mean, it's the this is gonna be the most, what I want added is gonna be the thing that's harder to do, and it's just I want more chapters. I love classes, and we have a lot of chapters, which is amazing. I'm gonna be playing them a fuck ton. But I don't know, it would be pretty fun to. I would be thinking about what would make me want to buy a DLC. More classes will be something, more items. I just want my runs to have more variety. The more the better. I'm an Isaac player, baby. I'm crazy like that. I want more. I want more variety. We have a lot of variety. I'm not saying that there's low variety, but I love it in any shape or form. But having more chapters, either we have a whole new path of chapters to explore. I think that would be super fun to explore different teams and to play with mechanically and lore wise, because we could see different part of the world of Mewgenics. That would be super cool as a concept. Like, what else is in the world? We see the boneyard, we see the moon, we see the bunker, we see the desert. What other regions of the world can we explore? That's so fucking. I would buy that a lot. Um, what else? I think it would be super cool if not adding a whole new pathway, maybe adding another branch to an existing path. Like the alleyway has the sewers that goes to the caves, the junkyard that goes to the boneyard, and then maybe they could add like in this DLC there's gonna be one more path in the alleyway that you go to, and it's like the city that goes to another place, and then there's like another chapter thing, you know. That would be super cool. Also, I just love how they could be how they could make give more variety to the paths that we already have. You know, I think that's really cool. Um, okay. I mean, we are. I didn't think it would take an hour, but I had more stuff to say that I thought I would have. But this was fucking fun as fuck. I'm just gonna stop a little bit and think if I can think of anything else that I missed that I want to talk about. Otherwise, I'm gonna start closing the video. Let's see. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything. But if there was something that you want my opinion on before we get the game and it becomes a whole another thing, ask me in the comments until tomorrow, until Tuesday, basically, and I'll answer them with my blind knowledge of the game. I would be very interested to see what people are speculating about, what they want to know about each other, because it's what we have in common: this love for the game and this thirst for knowledge and curiosity, you know, for the game. But in general, also, we are curious people. Um, but yeah, to finish this, I'm gonna be. I mean, as I already said, I'm gonna be playing Mewgenics a fuck ton. This is a Mewgenics channel. At least that's the purpose I'm going with right now, and I plan on holding that for as long as I can. And hopefully you like me playing it, because there's going to be a lot of people playing it. Maybe it is a lot more fun to play than to watch, but I hope my playthrough is going to be enjoyable somehow to some people in some way. I mean, I'm already said how I like to play, and hopefully that resonates with some people as well, because people are going to be playing in a lot of different ways, and that's just the fun of Mewgenics, really. So like, I really like challenging myself, and not because I'm especially good, but just because I find it more fun this way. So of course I'm gonna be completing the game, and I'm gonna try hard. But if something fun happens, I love playing it out, and I love role playing, and I love this about this game, like the narrative that Edmund always said. That's why you don't choose the name of your cats, and that's why there are a lot of random stuff that happens in the middle of the run to create these narratives with your party, with your cats, and with your story, within your save file, you know. So I really like leaning into that and having fun with it. See what cats we make, what mutations, what lineages we come across, and what will we end up with in the end, if we end. So yeah, I don't like always to play the most easy path or just pick the strongest abilities and shit like that. I like having fun, whatever. I kind of like the Edmund's playstyle, you know? Just have fun. I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst either. So I'm gonna be trying my hardest to. Uh, I mean, I don't know, I don't even will have to try hard to have fun, but to I want to beat the game and keep playing afterwards. Hopefully, it is just as fun in the late game as it is in the early game. Um, and it seems like it is. So, I don't know. Hopefully, you like it as well. The world is changing. The world with Mewgenics is going to be a very different one. And I'm excited to share it with you. I'll be here. Hopefully, we'll be here also. But even if you are not, even if you just liked watching all the reactions before Mewgenics released, thank you so much just for sticking and commenting. It was I never expected to have any attention in these videos, so it was such a welcome and pleasurable surprise to have people here and sharing the love for this game. You know, sharing the passion that I think this game deserves. And I think you believe that as well if you're here. So I don't know. Thank you so much for the support. Hopefully you're here. If you want to keep watching me, it will be a fun journey. I can guarantee it. And if you do, subscribe so you can see the notifications. Hopefully, if YouTube doesn't fuck me up. Like the video, comment. I love chatting with you all. It's just fun as fuck. To theorize and speculate and make fun of things and each other. I just love it a lot. It's been a very fun couple of months, and hopefully, and cheers. Let me get my cup. Cheers to more Mewgenics. Thank you. One more thing, actually. So this is the last video. There might be the possibility of me releasing one more video, and it's gonna be the reaction to the last trailer. It's more like a hype, very short video before the end. Gonna be releasing probably um, in the middle of the night between Monday and Tuesday. But we'll see, we'll see. It might not happen. But this is the video that I really wanted to make before the release. Just a heart-to-heart about the game we love, you know. So that's it. See ya. Thank you. The smell coming from?